Okay, then. Hello, guys. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Utpal. Good evening, Samuel, Ganesh. German to English. And also, care to tell me your name, buddy? German to English. Good evening, guys. Good evening, Akhilesh. Good evening, Naveen. Good evening, SK, Drex. How are you all? Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome on last day of this React course and also last day of the project. And today we are planning to complete this project completely. So again, guys, good evening, everyone. Good evening. How are you all? Tell me first of all that. How are you all? How are you guys feeling? Okay, Nigel. Nice name, buddy. Nice name. So, yep. Good evening, Nigel. Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible and visible as well. And I hope my screen is also visible. Hi, Positive. How are you, buddy? Okay, that's great. That means I'm audible and visible. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, then. So once again, good evening, everyone. Good evening, and I welcome you all to last day, or you can also say the day 4 of this nutrition tracker project. Okay, and I hope, first of all, guys, before we start with anything, I hope that all of you are right. Like till now, I hope all of you are enjoying the project. I hope you feel like we are creating something, right? Because we have created a complete backend. So we have already created a complete backend in the last course. Again, if you want that API, you can just get it from my GitHub repo. I'll just give the link in the chat after some time. And the whole GitHub repo of this project as well is also available in the description. You can go and you can just download the whole project from there. And today, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to be completing this project because last time I think we got into an issue and we solved it, and now our calorie tracking is working perfectly fine. Now there are just few more things that we have to make to complete this project, and after that, if you want, you can enhance this project. So first of all, guys, everyone, I hope you all are enjoying this project so far. Everyone, please let me know that in the chat. I hope you're all enjoying this, guys. Thank you so much, SK. Thank you so much, buddy. And also, guys, can we reach 3.1K? I think we are only 20 subs away from reaching 3.1K. So 3,100. So let's see if we can reach. Okay, guys. So let's go, everyone. Let's start. And welcome to all the 18 people watching. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's go and complete this project. So before we start, guys, see, as this is the last day of the project and also the React course. And don't worry, guys, in future, I'll be coming up with more React courses again and again with new projects and learning new things. But let's just take a moment and, just try to, let's culminate whatever we have learned so far. Okay. So now we know what exactly state, prop, how to use state, how to use props, right? We know how to create components. We know how to, reuse components. We have also done routing, right? We have also used context now. So we know how to use context. So we know a lot of things in React now that you need to start with any project. That means, guys, see, trust me, now, after knowing all the things that we have learned in this course so far, you are literally ready for any kind of project. Okay, you just have to use all the things that we have learned wisely, the way I have used all those in this project. Okay, and talking about this project, we have completed so far, we have completed, okay, let me just increase the font size. If in case you're unable to see, let me just quickly increase the font size. So I'll make it 24. Okay. So guys, so far in this project, we have completed registration, right? One thing, which was, I think, which we completed on day 1 of the project, which was very long. Okay. Registration was not the long thing. The long thing was login, because in login, we were sending the credentials, then it was getting compared, then it was sending token, then route protection and all that stuff, right? So yeah, registration done, login done. This was what we did on the first day. Then after that, on the second day of the project, we did route protection, right? Which was very, very important. So now route protection is also done. Now all the routes, extra routes other than registration and login on our web page, that means any web page that we don't want anyone to access without login, are now protected. Okay. And then we also set up the whole context to do all that stuff. And I hope that you guys all remember what we did in this whole project. So we also did route protection, and now people can also search for food, right? And the best part is that search works completely fine, right? When you start typing, that search works perfectly fine. So we've also done search for food. Then people can select a food. So selection is working. So selection of food is also working. Selection of food item. Then we can now also see what macros. So, we can now view macros as well. So we have also completed this feature that people can view macros, right? And now, last day only, I think last session of this project, we completed that now people can put their amount of what they have eaten and the macros will change. So updating macros based on user quantity. We have also done that. So now guys, we are left with only few features that we need to complete in this project, and those are, once we put our quantity that, okay, fine, I have eaten 200 grams, 300 grams of this food or this particular food. What I want is when I click on that track button, that food should be tracked for me for that date. And I should be able to see what I have eaten on what date. So if I have to mention, tracking of a food item is one feature that we have to create today. And then you can say viewing previous, you can say, previous days eating or something like that, full day eating or whatever it is, that we need to show as well. So full day eating. So these are the two features left, which are very, very important. And then finally, we can also create a logout. I think we have already written the logic of logout. We just need to create a proper button for that. That's all, right? Again, we have already created the logic of logout. So these are the two main things that we need to create. Okay, let me just mention that we have also done the logout feature. So logout also works on our case. Okay, so guys, everyone ready and excited for today's session? Let's go. And I hope guys, again guys, one more very important thing, that if you're watching this session for the first time, you might not get everything that we are doing here. So I would suggest you to at least watch this project session from day one. So if you know React, you can watch the project session from day one. If you don't know React, so I would suggest you to watch this whole course from day one so that you can understand how we have reached so far starting from scratch. Okay. So guys, let's go everyone. Let's go. And also guys, if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel everyone. Our goal is to at least reach 4K by mid of February. So let's see if we can reach that. Okay. Okay, one thing. Okay, please, sir, how can I get the API running on my local machine? Okay, Stephen, see, just first of all, install MongoDB server, MongoDB community server in your PC, first thing. Okay, and after that, download my API from my GitHub repo, and that's it. Just do npm start and it will start working. To get more idea about it, you can watch my Node.js course, or just watch the API development part. That's all. Just watch the project session of my Node.js course. You'll understand everything. The whole setup I have shown from scratch. Other than that, just install Mongo server and just download my API and just hit npm start and it will start working. So no issues in that. Okay. So guys, let's go everyone. Let's go. Okay, and don't worry, I'll give you the link later on, Stephen. At the end, please remind me, I'll give you the link of the API. You can download it and you can just start, working with that. Okay, guys, so let's go, everyone. So let me quickly run this project, the React project that we have. So npm run dev. Okay. And guys, we have already made, like we have only made the mobile version of this, right? We are doing the design according to mobile. So I hope you remember that. So here we go. We are not going to be watching it on the whole big web page. Let's put it to mobile size because we are developing it like that. But again, guys, you can make the design changes and you can make it look like, you can make it for the big laptop as well. But as of now, we are only looking for the mobile size. So yeah, this is what we have done. So now guys, let's go ahead and let's quickly log in. So with the correct account. And everyone watching from the start, you guys know that everything is working. If I put incorrect anything, it works completely fine. So then S Gupta 8, and also let me just, yeah, here we go. Yeah, now I can see the chat. So S Gupta 8 at the rate, I think it's sgupta@gmail.com, right? Maybe. And then password was Saurabh. Let's see. And yep, here we go. So search food item. And don't worry, guys, we have to, display some message here that you don't have any items or something like that. Okay. Don't worry, we'll do that routing later on. Once we finish the whole project, then we can simply go ahead and provide the finishing touch. Okay. So guys, let's go everyone. So let's search for again anything. See, the search is completely working. Chicken curry. Here we go. We have chicken curry here. And see guys, last time we saw that when I was changing quantity here, this was not updating because we had some calculation issues, and we also solved that. Later on, we solved that. So basically, to perform calculation, we also created a dummy button called as calculate. So we saw that now if I put I ate 250 grams and if I click on calculate, I can see the data according to 250 grams of chicken curry. Correct, everyone? So now, whatever I passed, let's say I have eaten 500 grams of chicken curry, which is I think too much, a little too much. You should never eat that much. But again, here we go. If I have eaten 500 grams of chicken curry and if I click on calculate, I can see the whole macros updating according to 500 grams of chicken curry, right? So now guys, only for testing, we did it on the button. Now what we'll do is we'll go back and again we'll change it so that it works as soon as I start typing. Is that clear, guys? So we don't want an extra button for the user to click. Okay, you click on calculate and then I'll do it. We only did it for testing. Now let's go ahead and let's remove that button so that, as soon as I type, this whole thing should change. So let's go, everyone. Let's go to the code editor and let me just move the terminal down. And see, guys, this was the function, right? Calculate macros. We want to call this function. Okay, we have a handle input. We set the quantity here. And then we have a button called as calculate macros. Okay. So what we can do now is we again have to write that logic, guys. Yeah, on change, not only on change, because see, now we have two different functions. We have handle input, which changes the quantity. You can see that, right? We have handle input, which changes the quantity. Okay. And then we have calculate macros as a separate button. So what we want now is whenever the quantity changes, at that time calculate macros should happen. Right, guys? That's what we want. Whenever the quantity changes, calculate macros should get called. So guys, again, what's the logic here? Everyone, what is the logic, guys? So we'll go here and we'll say we can use a use effect here, right? Use effect. Okay, use effect whenever the quantity changes. So this use effect will be called only for one dependency, that will be whenever the quantity changes. Is that clear, guys? So whenever the quantity changes, we want to call calculate macros. Now let's test it first. Okay, so guys, see, this use effect will be called whenever the quantity changes. So we have passed that dependency just like this. This set food and set food initial is called whenever the props change. Here, whenever the quantity variable, quantity state variable changes, I want the calculate macros to be called. So let's test it first. Let's see if it is working perfectly fine. And I don't know why I'm opening OBS Studio. So let me just get my browser. Here we go. Now let's search again. So something like chicken curry. Okay, all set. But here we go, guys. There's some issue happening. Okay, I think calculate macros is not happening because initially there is some issue here. Let me see. Okay. So initially quantity is 100 grams. Whenever it is changing, why is set food not happening? Because of this use effect, how it is. Okay, because the text box is empty, that's why. But even though text box is empty, we should get quantities 100, right? Because we have initialized quantity with 100 here. So it should work because here we have copy food. We're getting the food here. Why it is happening? Why are we not getting it initially now? What's the issue? Because even if calculate macros is happening, okay, again we have run into another issue. Quantity is still 100, so it should get calculated for 100 grams. Okay, let me just remove this use effect and test it for 100 grams first, because the issue is with 100 grams. So let me test it once. Okay, now it's here. And if I put 100, you can see, fine, it's 100. Like by default also it was for 100 grams. Still now it is for 100 grams. So why it is not happening based on the use effect? What's the issue? Why it's not happening internally? Okay, this is some issue. Why is it not happening? Is it not getting the data? It should get the data, right? Because if the quantity changes, I want to call calculate macros. See, guys, if this doesn't work, then you know what you have to do. You have to do it on when we do on change. But what I wanted to do is the same thing. Whenever we perform set quantity, at that time this should happen. But I don't know why it's not happening. Because initially we have quantity of 100, so it should work. Strange. A little strange, but that's fine. We can write our own logic then. Let's not go with use effect in this case. Let's do it on change only, guys. No issues. We have many ways to do it. So guys, what we need to do here is we need to set the quantity. That's we have to do, and we also have to perform this logic in there, in here. But we are doing it. Okay, now guys, we need to figure out the best way to do it. Actually, what can be the best way to do it? But this should work, right? Use effect logic should work. That's a little strange that it's not working for the initial, um, because we still have the quantity. Okay, let's print the quantity and see. Let's print the quantity. Let's have the use effect and just want to print the quantity and see how much it is coming. In live projects, we always run into issues. What's the issue here? It is getting calculated. Okay, now we got it. But where's the image? Where is the image? What's happening to the image? Okay, the use effect gets called. Okay, nice. Let's see what's the issue. Food.image URL. Okay, guys. Okay, got it. The image is going away, but why? Okay, see, guys, the issue. We found out the issue. No issues in that case. We found, and let me just get the browser again. I lost my chat. Here we go. Okay, guys, we got the issue. We got the issue. See, okay, but in copy food also we have the image, right? What's the issue? We are not removing the image. So what's the issue with the image? Now we are getting the other things at least. Why it is doing like this? How come it's not getting calculated? It's a little bit of issue because initially I've stored it as a number only, right? Strange. I really want to use it this way. It's much better. But I don't know what's happening. Use state is 100. That's nice. Strange. It's very strange actually. It's very strange. Use effect should simply call calculate macros as soon as the page loads. Okay, and then whenever the quantity changes, that's all. Why it's printing nan? Because it's is it unable to okay, let's print it before calculation as well. Let's see what's happening. Just to check it out, let's also print it before calculation. Okay, just to test. Once before calculation and one after calculation. Before calculation, it's showing empty. How is that? Okay, maybe because use effect is getting called only after the re-render, like complete render. But even though it's happening, it should change after some time. Okay, let's do this. Let's say whenever the food loads for the first time, at that time, also set the quantity to 100. Let's see if this works. Okay, now I think it's working. Nope. Very strange, very strange. Literally very strange. Okay, guys, I think we have to go with on change because it's very strange and I don't want to waste a lot of time. But again, we will solve it, but I have to check what's happening here. Why it is coming as empty? The use effect is called, calculate macros is getting called, and it's showing me it's empty initially. Very strange. Okay, let's pass one initial logic that it should load whenever. Nope, still not happening. It's 100, but see, it's still not calculating. I don't know why. It's showing me as 100. It's showing me as 100, but it's not calculating. Amazing. It is literally showing us as 100. Because the case is something is not available initially. Something is not available. Let's print all of them. Complete food, food, and food initial. Are they coming later? Let's see that as well. No, see, all of this is coming. Then what's the issue? Okay, every object is empty initially. Okay. Whenever it initializes for the first time, it is a blank object. This is also a blank object. I think that's the case. Okay, guys, no issues. Let's go with our own way then. No issues in this. Let's remove this, the technique that we were trying. Let's go with our own way for now. Okay. So we can have this. Okay, now it's perfectly fine. We need to figure out, we have to maybe, spend a little more time to understand what's going on in the life. But anyway, it's fine. So now we have this. Now we have to work with on change as well. Okay. So let's go on change. Don't worry about this anymore. So on change event will be available here and we'll convert it to quantity. So now we'll take the event value. If, first of all, if event dot target dot value dot length. Okay, so basic logic that we learned last time, length is not equal to 0. That means it's there. Then only this should happen. That means if there is some value inside the input field, then only this should happen. Okay. First things first. Okay. Simple logic. And after this, we also need to convert it to, so what we can do is we can perform set quantity to set it there, set in the variable. And also we can have a quantity here. So for that thing, what we can do is something like, we can have a quantity here only. So let quantity equals this, not this, sorry. Now we don't even need that state variable anymore, but we might use it for some cases because we need to send this data somewhere. So we'll take it, we'll have it initially. Let's name it something else. Let's name it as, we're not using it, we are just storing it for some other reason. I'll tell you later on. Set eaten quantity. Initially it's 100, but that doesn't matter. Now it can also be empty, completely fine. No issues. So guys, now we don't need this function anymore, handle input. Whenever someone types in the input field, we will simply call calculate macros. Simple guys, last time what we did. Now whenever someone starts typing in the input field, we will call calculate macros. We'll read the event object. We'll check if the event target value, that means the input field's value is there. That means the length, whatever data we are getting from the input field, that length is not 0. That means there is some content. So we'll convert it to number and then we'll perform the calculation and we'll set it to food. So this should work. Now we don't need that state variable anymore as of now. So first of all, let's test it. And now on the input field, yes, let's directly call calculate macros rather than calling it on this button. So we don't need this button anymore. So let's comment it out. So guys, anyway, completely fine. So now let's test it. Chicken curry. Okay, there's some issue. Where is the quantity issue? Okay, see, that is why we needed a state variable so that we can display it here at least. So no issues. We have a state variable eaten quantity. Okay. So whatever data we get from the input field, we'll also do this set eaten quantity and we'll put that quantity there. Now this state variable is just for display. That's all. And here we'll pass as eaten quantity. And that should be it. Here we go. So now we are not depending on the state variable and here we go. And now guys, let's type everyone. Let's type. Let's say 200. And see guys, everyone, perfectly works fine. 200, cut 20, cut 2, 400, see 4000. Everything works perfectly fine. Now, you should never read this much, but anyway, see, the calculation works perfectly fine. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, 20 grams of chicken curry, 100 grams of chicken curry, 150 grams of chicken curry. See that, everyone? So now we don't need that calculate button anymore. This was what we were doing last time, but it didn't work. That's why we did a little, just for testing, we added that calculate button and we changed our whole logic. But today we are not doing that. So now what we are doing is, as soon as someone starts typing in the input field, we take the input field value and then we simply extract it here. We check first of all if the input field is not empty. If it is not empty, whatever value you got, convert it to number so that we can perform calculation. Also, set that value to a variable called as eaten quantity. And right now, guys, this variable's only value is to display it here. That's all. That eaten quantity is not doing anything. It's just to represent it here. That's all. Just to display it here, here, here. That's it. Okay, this 150 grams. And after that, guys, whatever quantity we are getting from input field, we are doing the calculation based on that. And we are setting it to food so that this whole data changes. That's all. Now we can remove this console.logs. We don't need them anymore. Let's remove all these console.logs. And let's make the code a little more cleaner. Much better. Yeah, all set now, guys. So now, guys, our calculation is working perfectly fine. Is everything cleared, guys? Everyone? All set and cleared? Okay. So now, guys, we have got our idea working. And now the only thing we need to do is we need to click on this button that is track this food. And guys, what I'm thinking is we can keep this input field and this button side by side. What say, everyone? Should we? Because this design is not looking that great, right? So let's keep this input field and this button side by side. Okay. So in my end, for desktop, the CSS is bad for searching food and view macro. Yeah, it's fine because in my PC also it's looking like this. You can see that because we have not adjusted it, right, Akhilesh? We have not adjusted it for computer, for laptop. So it's fine. We are directly doing it for the mobile. But again, we can take some time and do that if needed. But right now, we are only focusing on the mobile part. Is it clear, buddy? So guys, let's put this button on the side because, it's not looking that great. So let's quickly go ahead and, some design changes. That's all. No big deal. So now we don't need this calculate button. Remove it. And now, first of all, guys, what we can do is we can have a div here. We can call it as track control, something like that, dummy stuff. And then we can put both of these in here so that we can apply flexboxing logic. That's it. This button as well, we can keep it there. Okay, all set. A little tab to make it look better. And now let's perform some designing on this track control so that we can adjust it properly. So let's go. A little bit of CSS. So dot track. Okay, I have already copied it. So track control, simple display of flex. And let's see. And see, guys, the button is looking very weird. Okay, don't worry, we'll adjust it because the text is too much for that button. So rather than calling it track this food, let's only have track on that button. Okay. So let's just have track because that's also understandable. Fine, track. And now let's adjust both of them properly with height and width. So now track controls input. So whatever input is there in track control division, so only for that specific input. See, it's also having a class of INP. You can see that it's having a class of INP. So the INP element, which is inside track control div, should have a width of 70%. Let's see. But actually the button is also adjusting like that, right? That's the issue with the button. It's adjusting, see, because the button is also having some width. So let's try. Okay, let's see what's going on here. So we have given 70%, but it's not taking because button is also a little bigger. So let's work on the button a little bit as well. Buttons class is btn. So let's give it a little less padding, or dot track control. Inside that, whatever btn you have, it should have a width of 30%. Let's see if it is working. And see, okay. And also remove the padding from left, right. So padding left should be okay. Padding top, bottom, whatever I have gave. Okay, so what did I give up? Now I have to see what have I given to the buttons. Where is button? Where is button? Where is button? Yep. So button I have given top bottom 10 pixel, left right 50 pixel. So top bottom I'll keep same, which is 10 pixel. So top bottom 10 pixel, left right 0 pixel. Okay, but now the 70% width is not working for I and B. Why is that happening? Because the button is now adjusting perfectly. But what is with the input field? Let's force it. Important. Still not working? Okay, because the div is not having any width. So let's go to the div and give it a width of 100%. Perfectly fine, guys. Everyone, much better now. And also, let's do one more thing here, which is going to be a little gap. So rather than giving it 70, let's give it 68. So that we can have a little gap now. And now we can remove the important. We don't need that. Okay. And for a little gap, we'll just give a column gap of 2% because input is having 68%. This is having 30%. That means 2% is left. So for that case, guys, we have done this gap. See now, we have a gap. So now I can put quantity and you can also have this track button. Is that clear, everyone? Guys, all set? All set or not clear, guys? So now this all looks really amazing. And now what we need to do is when someone clicks on this track button, what we need to do is we need to insert this data into the database. And for that, again, guys, we don't have to worry. Our job as a front-end developer is to simply call the route. That's all. Simply call the proper API endpoint and it should work. So let me quickly open that routes area. So let me open a new tab and let me just do sheets. So in the sheets, we have it. I have it in the sheets. So let me just go the sheets and the name is Nutrify routes. Let me just open that quickly. Yep, here we go. And it is in the second sheet. Here we go, second sheet. And see guys, this is what we need to call for track. Okay. Please in the input box, where is that X for clearing that input? It's simple. It's by default Rex. You have to use input type search. That's all. It comes by default Rex. It comes by default, buddy. You just have to do input type search. So rather than using input type text, use input type search. It comes by default. Is that clear, buddy? So now guys, to perform tracking of the food, we need to call this endpoint localhost colon 8000/track and it's a post request. And see guys, now I have also made some very tiny changes in the API. So now you need to send user ID, food ID, details, eaten date and quantity. These are the total 5 things that you have to send. User ID is whoever is logged in, that's ID. Food ID is whatever food item you have, that ID, that food's ID. Details, in the details you have to send the object which is having, protein, carbohydrates, fiber, whatever the calculated amount you have. So final calculated amount. And then you have to send the eaten date, which will be today's date. So don't worry about that. And you can see the date format should be, actually, you don't have to worry about eaten date. You don't have to send eaten date because it will be inbuilt. So you don't have to send, guys. Don't worry about that. I don't know why I have mentioned it here. You don't have to send eaten date. It will be by default picked up. And then quantity. So guys, these are the 4 things you need to send. User ID, food ID, details, which is the newly calculated amount of protein, carbs, fat, and fiber. The newly calculated amount. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, are you getting the point here? Please tell me. So these are all the things you need to send. User ID, which is user's ID. We can get that from the login information. We can get it from the context. Food ID, which we can get from the food item. Details, okay, which is nothing but the new calculated protein, carbs, fat, and fiber. And then the quantity which we are setting again and again, which we are changing. Understood, guys? This is what we need. So guys, as a front-end developer, you don't have to worry about what's going in the API. Your job is to simply understand that this is the endpoint you need to call and these are the details you need to send. That's what the API developer will give you. And we are reading that and accordingly, let's send it then. Okay. So first of all, guys, we need to prepare this data. Okay. So now from the context, we can get the user details and from the user details, we can get the user ID. So let me show you that. So if I go to this track page, actually, sorry, not the food page, right? We have a food page. Okay. And here we have the track button. So now, first of all, let's get the context. Okay. So import, the name is user context, in which we have stored everything related to the user who is logged in. So from that, we can extract user ID. So user context, we got it. And guys, to extract data from context, we use a hook called as use context. Use context. And now here, so we are calling it log data. So logged data. And what is this? LST. We need let. So log data equals use context, user context. And that's it. Now we should get what? The user details. To see what are we getting in that context. Again, we know because we are creating it from the start, so we know what's happening. But again, just to test, let's print and see what are we getting in this log data. So log data, just to see what are we getting in here. And now if you go to the console, see guys, in the log data, you get one property called as logged user. In the logged user, you get message, name, token, and user ID. So guys, this is what we need to send. This is the user's ID who is logged in. So this is what we want. Is it clear, guys? That's it. So user ID, we have it now. We have it. We also need the food ID. Don't worry, guys, because when you are getting the food, let me show you that. When you get the food, let me print the food for you. When you're getting the food, in that food object only, you also have the food ID. See that, everyone? You also have the food ID. See? And that details you have just calculated. So you also have it. Is that clear, guys, everyone? That's it. That's all you need. And quantity, whenever you change, you get the new quantity. That's all you need, guys. Is it clear? And also, guys, see, you can see here, we don't have any grams. Okay, we don't have any grams here. So let's quickly go and add a default 100 so that we can see it. Now we can see 100 grams. So default 100. Okay. Are we cleared, guys? Everyone understood what's happening? So we have all the details we need. We just have to frame them properly and send it to the API. Cleared, guys? So let's do it. Everyone, shall we? Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. So from this logged user, okay, first of all, let's prepare the data now. Let's prepare the data. That's very important. Let's prepare the data. Okay. So we'll create one object here, which we need to send to the API. So we'll call it as, what should we call it now? That's an important thing. What should we call it? So let's go. Or we can prepare it while directly sending, guys. Why to, do this much task? Let's prepare it while sending. What say, guys? Let's prepare it while sending. Why not, right? So let me go. And see, guys, we also know that this props.food, we are also setting to set food. We are also setting to set food initial. So from anywhere we can get the ID. Or see, when we do this set food here, this copy food is also having the ID. So no issues. We can extract the food ID from anywhere, because see, once we get the food, we are also passing it to food variable. We are also passing it to food initial variable. We are also copying it to copy food. So from anywhere, it's the same food. We can get the ID from anywhere. But let's go and let's do it properly. So let's create a function now for tracking. So function, let's call it as track food item. Food item. That's it. And now let's prepare the whole data. Okay, guys. So let's call this variable as track. Let track. So inside this, I'm going to be storing everything that I need. So guys, what are the properties you need in this object? Everyone, first thing that you need is, according to our sheet, you need something called as a user ID. So the property name should be user ID. So let's go. And again, guys, it's decided by the API developer. So user ID. And in here, you have to pass the user ID, which is coming from, guys, where? Log data, right? If you see your log data, in the logged user. So in your log data, there is a property called as logged user. In that logged user, you have a property called as user ID. That's it. That's all you need. So log data dot logged user dot user ID. So let's go. Log data dot logged user dot user ID. This should give you the ID. So you got the user ID. Now about the food ID. Food ID you can get from the food item, right? This food item. This food, any food, food initial, food. They are simply a copy of the same food. We are just maintaining them differently so that we can perform calculation, but they are simply the same food. But in this case, better to have it from the food. Okay. So food ID is simply food dot underscore ID. You have to understand, guys, when data, in our case, we are using MongoDB. So whatever data is coming, the ID is always represented as underscore ID. It's not ID, it's underscore ID. That's why underscore ID. So we got the food ID as well. And now, guys, after that, what we need to do is we need to get the details. So the property name is details, in which we only need to pass. Again, guys, remember, in which we only need to pass four things, not the complete food, only four things. And the four things are the newly calculated protein, the newly calculated carbs, the newly calculated fat, and the newly calculated fiber. Only four things, guys. Only four things you need to pass, not the whole thing. So let's create these four properties here. So protein, we'll put something after some time, don't worry. Then we have carbohydrates. We'll put something after some time here as well. And then we have fat. We'll put something again after some time. And then we have fiber. Is that clear, guys? Now, see, when you perform changes, you call calculate macros. You do the calculation, and again, whatever after doing the calculation, you store all that in copy food. And then you set copy food inside food. That means you can also get your new data, newly calculated data from food again. So let's go now and let's get on food. So food dot protein, food dot carbohydrates, food dot fat, and food dot fiber. And guys, finally, you also need to send quantity, and that you already have. So the property name should be quantity. And guys, whatever quantity you're writing in the input field, we are also setting it to where, guys? We're also setting it to eaten quantity. So this variable will give you that as well. So quantity is eaten quantity. And that's it, guys. Your data is ready. Are we cleared, guys? Everyone, your data is ready now. So as soon as you click on track food item, what will happen? We'll be creating an object, and that object will have user ID, which will extract from the context. We'll have food ID, which will extract from the food variable. We can get it from food initial as well. It's the same food. And then we also need the updated protein. That means if I'm writing 300 grams, so according to 300 grams, whatever is the new value of protein, whatever is the new value of fat, carbohydrates, we need that. So guys, see, after doing the calculation of new protein, new fiber, new fat, new calories, guys, we are setting it to where? After doing the calculation in copy food, we are again setting it back to food. That means after setting it back to food, this variable only has that data, the new data. So we can get it from here as well. And also, guys, I forgot to mention that we also need calories. I forgot that. So calories. Okay, we need to send this as well. In the API, it's there. So let's also set the calories. So one more property, calories, which also comes from food dot calories. Is that clear, guys, everyone? And now just to test, let's print this. So console.log track. And now time to test it, guys. And let's call this function on this button. Where is it? Track. So on click, and let's see everyone if it is working. Ready, guys? So let me put 200, and here we go. According to 200 grams of food, you will get 30 grams of protein. That's the new calculation. And now let's simply go and click on track. And see, guys, here we go. You have user ID, you have food ID, and then you also have details in which you have the calories, you have the carbohydrates, you have fat, you have fiber, everything properly updated. Is it clear, guys, everyone? Please confirm that quickly. All set, guys? And now our job is to simply send this to the API, and that's all. The food will be tracked. Are we cleared, guys? Everyone, can you please confirm that real quick? Before we move ahead, quickly, guys, come on, quickly. Let's go. Okay, so we just take all the pieces of data from here and there, and we finalize a final object which we need to send to the API. And guys, just a minute, I'm getting a call. Let me see what's happening. Just a second. Am I audible, guys? Can you please confirm that quickly? Am I audible? Really sorry. That's what happens when you're in a hotel. Sometimes, you get some missed calls. Here we go. Let's go now. Let's go. So everyone, are we cleared with this? And let me just get my chat back. Here we go. Okay. I actually got a call. So they thought I was calling for water and they were sending some water to me, but I didn't call as usual. So some mistake. Anyway, let's go. Let's go. And yep, guys, let's go. And also, guys, please, 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 if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, everyone. Come on. This is React's last session. After this, we are having a lot of things to come. Next.js, then complete Java full stack, Python full stack, a lot of things. So again, let's go. So guys, now we have the whole data prepared. And now we simply need to send it on this endpoint, which is simply localhost colon 8000/track. And again, guys, as you can see, this is also marked green. That means it's a protected API endpoint. That means you need to send token. And guys, we know, right? From where do we get the token, everyone? We also get the token from the context, right, everyone? We know that. We also get the token from the context. Again, just to show you, it's there in the context variable. Let's print it. So console.log, log data, and you should get it, right? Token is also there in the context. So just printing it to show you. Here we go. So inside logged user, we extracted user ID from logged user, but we also have token in there and we can get the token from there, guys. So let's go. Let's go. So yep, fine. Anyway, let's go. So here we'll write that logic. Okay, so we have prepared the data. So fetch http :/localhost 8000/track, right? That's the endpoint. And then it's a post request. So method post, perfect, method post. And then simply we need to send token, and token we always send in headers. Okay, so headers. And the token, guys, which header do we use to send token, everyone? We use authorization, inside which you need to pass bearer space the token. And token is inside log data dot logged user dot token. Correct? And guys, also we need to send our body, right? We need to send the whole data that we have. We want to send this whole object. But guys, this is the JS object. But we don't send JS objects to the API. I hope you remember, guys. We also did this in login. We also did this in registration. We don't send the JS object to the API. We send JSON. So we have to convert our JS object to JSON. So we send data through the body parameter and we need to convert it. So JSON.stringify and the whole object, which is, guys, what? This track. So the track object. Okay, and guys, you can give a better name to it rather than calling it track. You can call it something like tracked item. Let's call it as tracked item. Much more better name, right? Track is not a very good name. So let's call it as tracked item or tracked food item. That's also you can call it tracked food item. But in this case, it's fine. Tracked item. And now, guys, again, base logic, you will get some response. So we handle it using then. So then here you will get the crude response. So response, and we'll return it. So we'll extract the JSON out of it. Okay, I hope everyone knows fetch here. We are doing it from so many days, right? And here you get your actual data. So just to let you know again, here you get the crude response. From that, you extract the data that is coming from the API, right? It again gives us a promise. So to extract it, we want one more, like we write it once more, the dot then. Okay, and here we should get our data. So console.log. Just to see if it is coming back, let's put data. Okay. And yeah, yes, I forgot the content type. Yeah, thank you so much for reminding, Drex. Thank you so much for reminding. Guys, we are also having a post request, right? We are sending a post request, and inside that we are sending some data. So if you're sending some data, body data, you should also mention content type. Yes. Application/JSON. Okay. And guys, now here you get the crude response. From that response, you're extracting the JSON. And the second dot, then you will get your data. And also, guys, if you're new, I hope you understand. This fetch is a JavaScript thing. So again, you can watch my asynchronous JavaScript masterclass. There I have deeply explained what is fetch and how it works. But here, I'm just using it directly as this is React. So I'm expecting that everyone knows a little bit of JavaScript here. Hopefully, if you don't, no issues, you can still complete it. So dot catch, and here we should get some error. Hopefully we won't get any errors, but again, in any case, if we're getting it. So console.log the error. Okay guys, now then it should work. Should we test it? Please sir, if the method is get, do one still body header or only post method? In get, Stephen, you don't have to send data, right? That is what get request means. Only in post or put, you mention body. Headers, not fixed. You might also send some headers in get request. Generally, you don't send body in get request. Okay, Stephen, buddy, I am strongly suggesting you to watch my Node.js API development course. There you will completely understand what this get is, what this post is, and when to use what, when to use get, when to use post, and all that stuff. You'll understand it properly. But yeah, generally in get request is normally sent to get data from server. So you don't send any kind of body. Sometimes you might need to send some headers, but generally you don't have to. In body, sorry, in post method, you're using post so that you can send body. Post method is used to send some body data, some request data. Okay. And in this, whenever you're sending data, you need to mention content type. This is an extra header. Authorization is an extra header which we are including. This header will go with everything, with get, with post, with any request. Because if there's a secured endpoint on the API, we have to send token to access it. So it doesn't matter if it is get. Is it cleared? Is it better to use Axios or Fetch? According to me, it should be Fetch. Fetch is a little better. Fetch, because it's a JavaScript's inbuilt feature. Axios is a third-party library. Fetch is JavaScript's inbuilt feature. So I would suggest to use Fetch. And I think it's kind of easy as well, right? It's not that confusing. It's kind of, plain and easy. So guys, everyone, and also I forgot to change the name here in the console.log. So let me just put it there as well. Ready guys, everyone? Should we test it if this is working? Let's go and let's see now. So let's search for paneer tikka, some other food. Let's say we got bored after eating a lot of chicken curry. Okay. So let's say I have eaten 150 grams of paneer tikka. 150 grams of paneer tikka. So you can see we're getting 15 grams of protein, 12 grams of carb. How come it is 12 grams of carb? Okay, is it correct data? Like again, guys, don't worry because accordingly, if internally I have fed it in that way, here also it will be in that way only. Let's see, we have some rice or not. Let's see. It's not wrong data, guys. It's just okay. Let's search for butter pulao. Okay, have I put some wrong data here? Because that those carbs are hurting me a little bit. I don't think so. Okay. Again, guys, let me just check my database once real quick. Because see, guys, just want to confirm if the calculation is not mistaken. Just want to confirm that real quick. So, again, it depends on whatever data you have fed it. So let me just check my database. What kind of data I have fed it here. So foods. And guys, if I have fed it that, only 500 grams of carbohydrate, 8 grams of carbohydrate. So that's me. Okay. It might be my mistake. I don't think so. Any food will have only 2-3 grams of carbohydrate until and unless it's a protein shake. But you can see, guys, it's me. I have done that. So it's okay. Okay, you can see, right? Everyone, I have done that. 25 grams of carbohydrate, 12 grams of carbohydrate. So it's okay. It's completely okay. Okay, everyone. I hope you're getting my point, guys. Can you please confirm that real quick? Okay. So it's coming from the database. If needed, we can edit it. For now, let's edit it. Let's say chicken curry will have 50 grams of carbohydrate. Okay. I don't know if it is correct or not, but anyway, it's fine for now. And let's say paneer tikka will have 80 grams of carbohydrate. So let me quickly go ahead. Edit. Why it's not getting edited? Okay. What is happening here? Okay. Let me put for dal tadka, it should be 120 grams of carbohydrate. But anyway, I don't think so I'm putting it correctly. Again, let's go. Let's keep it normal because how can dal, 100 grams dal can have 120 grams of carbohydrate? That's a little illogical. So I would suggest let's set it to whatever values we had. Okay, because guys, I got this data from internet. So again, it's anyway fine. I hope you understand, guys. It doesn't matter, right, everyone? Right now, this data doesn't matter. And let me just give some timeout to someone because, okay, wait. Let me give a timeout to this guy. Yeah, that should be it. Okay, it's not happening. Wait. Because of the page is zoomed, I'm unable to give timeout. Okay, now I've timed out. Nice and simple. Okay, all set. Okay, guys, so let's go. Okay, so everyone, I hope you understand. You can get this data from anywhere and you can have proper correct data. You can also have proper correct data, but anyway, in this case, it's fine. It's me. Just wanted to confirm that it's not the calculation, it's us. Okay, so paneer tikka actually is having only 8 grams of carbohydrate here, so that's fine. So it's okay. So let me again search paneer tikka. Okay, and you can see, here we go. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? All set? Hopefully. Okay, so now then, let's go. Let's put 150 grams. And now, guys, are we ready to track? Everyone, let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. And some issue. What's that? Some problem in adding the food. What happened to the server? User ID is required. Okay, did I do some mistake? Food ID is required. I think my properties are mistaken, guys. Internally, it is expecting the properties to look like this: food ID, I capital. Okay, so in our API, we have done I capital. So here also we need to make I capital. Okay, so let me just update the documentation real quick. That is, the property name is not user ID with I small, it's user ID with I caps, and same with food ID. Is that clear, guys, everyone? So that was a silly mistake. So let's go now. It should be working now. So server crashed because we didn't pass the proper property names. And now let's go track. And see, guys, here we go. Done with tracking, and you got a message of food added. Is that clear, everyone? And also to confirm, let's check the database real quick. So let's check the database and we'll go to trackings. And guys, here we go. Can you see that, everyone? Can you see that, guys? And let me delete the first one. I think we did it while testing the API. And guys, you can see the data is here. The user ID, the food ID, the details, everything is here. And you can see, okay, the details are for how much? Is it coming for 100 grams or not? Wait, 150 grams, 10 gram, 8 gram, 12 gram, 3 gram. Let me confirm. Yeah, 12 gram. Wait, protein is 10 gram. Yeah, nice. Guys, the data is correct. You can see that. See, in the database also, calories are 200, protein is 10 gram, carbohydrates is 8 gram. You can see protein is 10, sorry, not 10 gram. Protein is 10 gram, not 12 gram. So protein is 10 gram, carbs is 8 gram, fiber is 3. So everything is perfectly fine. Are we cleared, guys? So now our data is also all set. It's all working. Is it cleared, everyone? Can you please confirm that real quick? Everyone, come on. Are we cleared with this? Now we just have to do what? We just have to create one more web page where we can display all the foods that I have eaten today. So let me just add one more food for today real quick. And that will be, let's say, I have also eaten matar pulao, something like that. Okay, here we go. And let's say I have eaten around 300 grams of matar pulao, which is a little too much again, but let's track it. And here we go, guys, all working. Now see, the only thing missing here is a message, a good looking message, right, everyone? That, okay, your food is tracked. You can see it on the tracking page, something like that. Okay, but again, guys, first of all, let's go. Let's create a tracking page and then we'll come back to this and, display messages and all that stuff. And also guys, if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, everyone. Please don't forget to subscribe. We want to reach 3.1k. Let's see if we can reach 3.1k by end of January. Let's go guys. Okay. Okay, so let's go. So let's create one more component for tracking page. Ready guys? Let's go everyone. Let's go. We need one more component and that will be the track. Okay, we have a track page. Let's see. Is this different? Okay, this is the searching page. Okay. So guys, I think, I'm thinking I should change the name of this page. Or let's call it track, and then we can have, what should we call the other component then? If we are calling this component as track, so what should we call the other one? Sir, chill stream. No, not today. Tomorrow, definitely. Not today, but tomorrow, definitely. Hopefully tomorrow. I'll set up the whole stream. Don't worry. So guys, what should we call the other component, everyone? Come on, you tell me. What should we call the other component? So new file, let's call it as, what should we call it? Day nutrition, something like that. Okay. So let's call it as diet. Let's call it as diet, guys. Let's call it as diet. Thank you so much, Komalpreet. So guys, let's call this component as diet. Again, quickly, a component. So function export default function diet. Okay, diet. Yes, don't worry, Stephen, don't worry, buddy. So export default function diet, and for now just return a simple page of diet. That should be it. So guys, let's go. Let's call it as h1. Guys, our final page, everyone. Final page of the whole project. Are you guys excited to see all coming together? Let's go. Let's just simply call it as diet page, something like that. Diet page. And also we need to create a route for this as well. So let's go. So guys, one more route here, and this will also be private. So route path diet. So on /diet, we'll go to element. And guys, first of all, whenever someone goes on diet, first it will always go to the private component to check if the user is already authenticated. Okay, this is the way we have created it. And only if it is, then it will go to the diet component. Diet. And that should be it. Okay. So guys, let's go. Let's go, everyone. So now let's go on the diet page quickly from here for now. So diet. And now we are on the diet page. And now guys, let's quickly go ahead and let's quickly style it real quick. Let's go. Let's go, everyone. Let's go. Okay. So first of all, here also we'll need a section to which I'm going to give a class of container, which is everywhere, a black background. Here we go. We also get it here. And now we need to properly style it. Okay, guys. Sir, I missed some lectures, so I have some doubts regarding those. Definitely, we will have a chill stream tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow there is a chill stream in the evening around 8:30 or something like that. And you guys can ask me your doubts there. Okay, don't worry. You guys can ask me your doubts there. So guys, let's go, everyone. Let's create some base logic here. So first of all, here, what I want is we need to load all the things that we have eaten today, guys. First of all, by default, we will load the things that we have eaten today. Is that clear, guys? So shall we? And see, for that, the API endpoint is this one. See, guys, you have to call /track, you have to pass your user ID, and you have to pass the date. And by default, it will be current date. And see, the date format is month-date-year. Is that clear, guys? Understanding the whole point, everyone. So to get the things that you have eaten today, you have to call /track / the user ID of the user /date. And by default, the date will be current date. And the date, you will have to pass it in month-date-year format. Is it clear, guys? Everyone ready, guys? So let's go. First of all, let's try to fetch the data. So use effect, which will be called as soon as the page loads. So that's why a blank container, a blank array, a blank dependency array, and now fetch. And now guys, this is a get request, and also it's green, so you need to also send the token. So you need to send user ID, and you also need to send token. So to get those things, guys, we need the data from context, right everyone? The token and the user ID is available in the context. So import user context, and to extract the data, import use context. Okay, is that clear, guys, everyone? Yeah, you can add the time as well. Why not, Ujjwal? We can just, we didn't plan it like that, but definitely it's possible. Definitely it's possible, Ujjwal, if you want to add time. So guys, let's extract the data quickly. So again, same logic. Let logged data equals use context, user context. Okay, and after that, guys, again, semicolon is not important in JavaScript, so you can ignore it. So the URL is http:// localhost 8000. So localhost 8000 / track / you need user ID, which will come from log data. So first of all, guys, here I'll remove this so that we can easily put variables. So first user ID, which will be visible, which will come from log data dot logged user dot user ID. Okay, / you also need to pass the current date. Guys, you also need to pass the current date. So for that, as I said, the format is month, date, year. So for now, guys, let's directly pass. Okay, let's pass directly, and afterwards we can change it dynamically. For now, let's pass it directly. So current month is 01 hyphen current date is 24 hyphen current year is 2024. Is that clear, guys, everyone? Okay, and now it's a get request, so you don't have to mention get, but again, just to give it good format, let's mention get. Fetch by default sends a get request, so even if you don't mention method get, it will still be a get request. And guys, one header we need to send for the token, which is authorization. So authorization, and then the token. So again, same logic, bearer space the token. Token will again come from the context. So log data dot logged user dot token. Is it clear, guys? And this route should now give you back your food items that you have eaten on this particular date. In our case, right now, it's today's date. But don't worry, we'll make it dynamic in some time. Don't worry about that. Okay, let's go. So .then, here you'll get your crude response, your normal response, from which we need to extract the data which is coming. So response.json to extract the data, which will be again available in the next then data. In this case, guys, the data is the tracked items, the tracked food items. You should get back the food items. So let's say console.log data.catch. If in case there's some error, hopefully there will be no errors, but again, we need to make sure if there is something at development, we can track it. Okay, guys, all set. Should we test it, everyone? Should we test it? Are we getting the data, track data or not? And here you guys, can you see that, everyone? We got 2 data, which is nothing but you can see, right? The first food item and also the second one. First we eaten what? You can see it here. We did eat, where's the name? Food. Here we go, guys. You eat paneer tikka. And see, guys, here is the detail according to 100 grams. And in the details property, see, in food ID, you're getting the food name, okay? And you're also getting the data according to 100 grams. And in a details property, you're getting it according to 200 grams. See that, everyone? So both are available. Up to you. If you want to show for 100 grams, that's also available. So you have also got the data of how much you have eaten. And you've also got the data of what is the base value for 100 grams. So again, you can do comparisons, show some graphs, charts, whatever you want. But again, up to us. So this is the whole data that we have got for a single food. So we have got 2 food items. You can see that. Okay, whatever you have eaten. So guys, are we cleared? You got the food items and now your job is to simply map. This is an array, right? This is an array. You just have to map and display the data properly. Is it clear, guys, everyone? Should we do it? Should we do it, everyone? Let's do the final task. And after that, we just have to, properly make the navigation, some links, and all done. All done, all done. Okay, so guys, let's go. Everyone, we will create a state variable here and we'll call it as items or eaten items or just items, doesn't matter. Okay, so const items set items equals use state, and initially let's say it's a blank array, and as soon as we receive the data we'll set it back. So set items the data that we got, which is an array, right, everyone? So basically we are setting this array which we got into the items. So now we can display it. So let's go, everyone. Here we'll do it. So again, we need to write some JavaScript. So again, curly braces, items dot map, right? And in here, single item will be available at one time. So item, you can also call it food items, guys, up to you. Okay, and then return some JSX from here. In this case, let's simply return a div with the food name. So guys, now in a single item, you have this whole single object available, correct, guys? The whole single object. So guys, how are you going to get the name of the food? Let's open the object and let's see. Inside that object, you have a property called as food ID. Inside the food ID property, which is again an object, open it, you have a property called as name. So item, which is the whole object, dot food ID dot name will give you the whole food item. So let's display it here for now. Item dot food ID dot name, and let's see. And see, guys, you got paneer tikka and matar pulao. Proper. You got your data, and just like that, guys, now you can display whatever you want. But first of all, let's style it. And also, guys, you can see the alignment is in center. We also don't want that. So let's give this one more class called as diet container, because to the container we have given some default CSS. We don't want that. So let's go diet container, and let's have not width, actually just align items flex start back to normal, and see, now it's at start. Okay, no issues, buddy, no issues, Utpal, no issues, buddy. So guys, all set? Should we work on the designing now, everyone? Should we work on the designing now? You tell me, guys. Let's go and let's make it look amazing. So first of all, remove the name. Let's create a proper design. So let's give it a class of item. I think only half an hour. Half an hour is required. Half an hour, that's all. Just half an hour more. Okay, so item width of 100%. Padding of, let's say, 20 pixel all around. And background color of, let's say, something like, dark gray, something like that. And you can see we have 2 boxes. Let's have light gray. A little more, So let's have a little more blackish shade on it. Not exactly gray. Yeah, something like this. Okay. All set, guys. And I need that. Okay. Now then, fine. And also to the diet container, we're going to give some row gap. So row gap of 20 pixels. We have 2 divs right here. So why is there no? Okay. Also display flex. So display flex is already there. We just have to do flex direction column. Yep. Now there are 2 elements, one below each other. Perfectly fine. Right. So by default, diet container is having flex direction row. That's why they are going side by side, the 2 items. We don't want them. We want them one below each other. So we did this. And now we need to display all that stuff. So first we need to display the name of the food item. So I'll use h2 for that. In here, guys, what was the case? Item dot food id dot name. Okay, you can see paneer tikka matar pulao. Okay, and I forgot to copy and paste the color in the CSS. Here we go. Paneer tikka matar pulao. And we also need to display the small details like protein, carbs, and all that stuff. So let's also display that. So in the next one, in the p tag, we'll display all that. So first of all, protein. Now guys, let's see from where it comes from. If you again read the object properly, if you read it properly, in the food ID, there are some details which are for 100 grams. Here, we don't want to display for 100 grams. We want to display what they have eaten, how much they have eaten. So for that, guys, it's inside details. Okay, so calories, carbohydrates, fat, fiber, all that stuff. This is what we want to display in details. So item dot details dot protein, and then don't forget the gram. So this is how much you got, protein. And just like that, guys, you can also have, let's say, carbs. And the property name is carbohydrates. You can see carb 75 grams. Okay, and guys, again, you can work on the designing a little bit. I'm not doing that much designing, but you can work on that. Fats, you got that much fat, and same for fiber. Okay, so fiber, and also guys, how much you have eaten, we'll display it here only. So eaten quantity is here available. Quantity, you have eaten 150 grams. It's directly available in the object. Property name is quantity. So simply mention quantity. So quantity grams. And also the calories. Calories is available inside details only. Calories. So here only I'll display item dot details dot calories for kcal. Okay, and I also forgot not quantity directly, item dot quantity. And guys, that should be it. See that? So paneer, and also let's use h3, not h2, because I think that's getting too big in this case. For mobile screen, actually that's too big. And see guys, so paneer tikka 200 cal for 150 gram, and also let's put it inside a bracket. It should make a little more sense. And here we go. So you ate paneer tikka 200 calorie for 150 grams, protein 10 grams, carbohydrate 8 grams, fats 12 grams, fiber 3 grams. Okay. Then you ate matar pulao 390 calories for 300 grams, protein this much, carbs this much, fats this much, fiber this much. Is that clear, guys? Now, if you want, you can also display it in the, vertical fashion. Okay, up to you. Like you can have multiple p tags. But I was thinking that it will go a little too down. Getting my point, everyone? It will just go a little too much. The size of the single box will be too much. So that's why I'm going it in this way. But if you want, you can also divide 2 by 2. So protein, carbs, fat, fiber. But this is also fine. So anything up to you. The design logic. In this case, I'm not focusing that much on design, but guys, the designing is completely up to you. Okay. Exactly. Now you just need to calculate it, or actually you don't even have to. You can use the same map. Exactly. German to English. Inside the map, you have all the details available. Create 4 variables, total 5 variables. Total calories, total protein, total carb, total fat, total fiber, and do the calculation. Let's do it actually. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. So we'll create 4 more variables. 4 more variables. And inside the same map, we can do that as well. So, and guys, for this, you don't need state variable because it's not going to change again and again continuously. Only if you track something, you'll come to this page. Okay. Just to follow our, do you have weighed the food? Is that correct? No, in this case, it's all random data, but in reality, in the database, you have to feed some real data. Right now, I have feeded some random data. Actually, it's correct. I got it from ChatGPT, that data. But again, I'm not sure because I have not weighed it actually. But you can get it from online, you can get it from the internet, the correct data, and you can feed it in your database, Naveen. That's all. Our logic is completely fine. It's just in your database, if you have correct data, it will work completely fine. Is it clear, buddy? Okay. So now guys, let's do the calculation. So for that, I need 4 variables, or you can simply use a single object, not even 4 variables, an object. So let's say let total, a blank object. See guys, please try to understand. I'm using a normal object because this is not gonna render anything on my UI again and again. It will be only a one-time render. It will be only a one-time render. Once I load my diet page, everything will be there and it will be only a one. But no. When I change my date, it will change actually. But I don't want to perform that set again. So I'm just thinking, what should I do now? Because I can perform the calculation. So now should I perform the calculation separately? Now that's what I'm thinking. Should I perform the calculation separately? Yeah, data, anything, right, Naveen? Up to you. Like you can put the correct data, it will work correctly. So again, in this case, we can consider this as a random data. So now guys, for our last logic, I'm just thinking now, should I use a state variable or should I use, some normal variable for this? Just thinking now. See, if I use normal variable, if I change my date, it won't re-render. It won't survive. But you can go for a, remember that guys, we can use a useRef, a variable which survives even if the state changes. Remember guys, we learned useRef. A normal variable is lost if the state changes, if the component re-renders. A state variable also re-renders the component. We want a variable which doesn't cause re-render, but it should survive even if the component re-renders. And for that, we learned useRef. So guys, we can use a useRef here, right? Because we want a variable which should survive all the re-renders. The data should not be lost. But secondly, we should be able to change it at any point of time. So we can go for a useRef, right, everyone? Correct? If I use a normal variable, if my state changes, the whole thing will just go away. Correct, everyone? So we can go for a useRef in this case. Why not? We can go for a useRef. You tell me guys, but I'm just thinking, should I go for a state variable? Because see, right, if you use useRef, you get a new extra current property. I hope you remember the lecture. You get an extra current property. So now we can definitely go for a useRef. Why not? Completely fine. I'm just thinking now. Okay, let's go for a useRef. So let total useRef, and initially it will be a blank object, not a blank object, but it will have few properties, which will be total calories, okay, which is initially 0 in this case because we're going to be calculating it now. So total calories 0, total protein 0, total carbs 0, total fats 0, and total, basically it's an initial variable in which we'll put our data, and total fiber 0. Is that clear guys? Everyone? Now I hope you understand guys. If I print this, you will see it's a useRef variable. The only reason I'm using a useRef variable, so that if my component re-renders, this should never go away. I hope you're getting my point guys. My data should never go away. But actually, we want it to go away. Guys, we want it to go away because if my date changes, my whole calorie will change. Okay, yeah. No need of useRef guys. A normal variable is fine. Actually, yes. Sorry. Some bad logic there. But actually, we want it to reset. We actually want it to reset back to 0. We want it to reset back to 0 guys. So yeah, fine. Okay. So guys, now we have a variable called as total. You'll understand what I'm saying about resetting it back to 0. And we have 5 variables about calorie, protein, carb, fiber, fat, and all of them are 0. Now, while doing my map, I'll do the calculation here. We'll do the calculation here. So map will go to all food items one by one. What I'll do is, my job is simply total calories equals or plus equals. So every time the loop happens, just add the calorie into that. So item dot details dot calories. Is that clear, guys? So now what will happen, everyone? My map will go to the first item. So I'll say total calories equal to, so the logic is like this: total calories equal to total calories, total dot calories plus. This is the logic, guys. So now for the first item, whatever calories it has, add it to total calories, which is 0. So 0 plus, let's say first item is having 200 calories. See again here, first item is having 200 calories. So 200 plus 0. So basically 200. It will be stored in total calories. So now total calories is 200. Then it will go to next item, and there you get calories as 390. So 390 plus last time total calories was 200. So 200 plus 390, which is around 590. So that will be new total calories. So simple addition logic, guys. Again, some basic JavaScript calculation. Is it clear, guys, what's happening here? So for every item, I'll take its calories and add it inside total calories. That's it. So for every item, whatever it is, 200 plus 390 plus 4 plus 5 plus 8 plus 10, I'll plus out everything, and finally it will be stored in total calories. And same will happen for protein. Total dot protein plus equals item dot details dot protein. Same total dot carbs. Sorry, total carbs. Sorry. And also here total protein. Okay. So total carbs and total protein plus equals. Guys, are you getting this logic, everyone? Please tell me. Are you guys understanding what's going on here? Same will go with total fats. Guys, can you please confirm that real quick? Are we understanding all this? Okay. Item dot details dot fiber. And that's it, everyone. And now the fun logic is to display it somewhere. That's all. Okay. But now I'm thinking if there will be any issue, because we want to display it at the last, and this map will perform calculation while rendering. See, guys, the logic is this map will perform calculation while rendering. Okay. So while the rendering is happening, this map will perform the calculation, and I want to display it only after the calculation is performed. So a little weird if this will change the whole thing. I'm thinking, should I perform a different map only for calculating the data in a use effect once you got the data? I'm just thinking if I should do that, because I'm thinking here, doing it here will not be a really good thing. You know, it is making our code look bad as well. Okay, guys, let's do it separately. I don't think it's a good thing to do it here. Okay. So let's set a function calculate total. Okay. And now, guys, what we can do is we can make it a state variable now. So use state. Okay. And now we'll do it in a better way. So total set total. So initially everything is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Nice. It's a state variable now. Now what we'll do is, while doing calculate total, first we'll get a copy of this so that we can perform all that logic. So let total copy equals, we'll spread that total variable. Again, we'll create a deep copy and then form this whole thing inside a for each or a map. So we can do a for each now. So whatever food items you got initially, this one, in the use effect. So data. So basically inside items you have stored. So let's perform a for each. No need to perform a map. A for each will be enough. So items dot for each item. No need to do anything. And that's it. And don't forget, you have to do it in total copy. So guys, again the same logic, everyone. Same logic. What are we doing? We have a variable called as total, which is having initial value of this object and all the properties having 0 as their value. Correct? And after that, we have a function where we first spread the total, which is this variable. Okay? And then we create a copy of it. Then we work on the copy. We do everything on the copy. And finally, after everything is done, we set it back to total. So set total, total copy. Is that clear, guys, everyone? Set total, total copy. And now just display. So first of all, guys, when you get data for the first time, that's also you can perform this total logic or, okay, let's do it. First of all, let's try to display it here somewhere at the bottom, or we can display it after this box. So once the map finishes up, here you can display. So one simple p tag like this or something like this. Wait, I needed the whole div actually. One extra div at the last. Okay. And here will not display any food name. We'll display total calories. So total dot total calories. You can also get the total grams, guys, if needed. And here it will be total dot total protein, and then total dot total carbs, then total dot total fats, and then simply we can do total dot total fiber. Let's see if it is there. Okay, first of all, we have not okay, first of all, everything should be 0. You can see 0 0 0 0 0 because right now we haven't called this function yet, calculate total. So first of all, we want to call it, okay, as soon as we got some items. So use effect. Actually, we can call it, but okay, let's have a separate use effect. Okay, and we need to call it whenever the total changes. But wait, if I call it inside, we want to call it initially for the first time. Where should we call it? We can have a use effect of a blank for the first time. Call this calculate total. Okay, let's see now. See that, guys? Total 590 calories, protein 22 gram. You can see 10 plus 12. Okay, so guys, are we cleared with this, everyone? You can see that. Okay, but initially there's some issue. Okay, first of all, the key issue. So let's, inside a map, you should always give key. So we can just go in here and we can give a key. So key, we can pass the ID here. So item dot underscore ID. Okay. But for the first time, you don't get anything. You can see for the very first time, you don't get anything here. So that's an issue. That's an issue. That's an issue. So what can we do? Because for the very first time, you don't, because see, this use effect is only called for the first time, but same thing is happening with this as well. So until you got your data, this use effect is not getting called. Only after the complete render. So first this whole thing is happening and then this is getting called. That's why the initial calculation is not happening. And I can't call it here. So what should we do? What should we do? See guys, this use effect and this use effect both are working on the same place. Okay, what we can do is, we can do this. Whenever the items change, then only call it. So whenever the items change, this calculate total should be called. So now it should work. Here we go. Perfect. But wait. Yeah, perfectly fine. See that guys? So whenever the item changes, so for the first time when the item loads, it gets called. So whenever item changes, this will get called. All good everyone? Nice and simple now. So this calculate total is called whenever the items change, and items only change when the fetch happens. So when you fetch data from internet and set the items, at that time only this use effect is called and calculate total happens. And here we go. Are we cleared guys, everyone? All set? Can you please confirm this real quick everyone? Are we cleared with this whole logic? What's going on here? Everyone, come on, real quick everyone, come on. Tell me. Are we cleared with this? So now we are able to perform the basic calculation. Okay, and now finally what we need is a proper navigation to go here and there. For example, this is diet. So track, okay, all this thing. And guys, here you can display some dummy image like, no food items, search for some food item, all that stuff. So you can do all that logic here and there. Is that cleared guys? Everyone getting the whole idea? So now finally what we need here is a proper navigation. That's all. That's it to go here and there. So do we have a navigation? Have we created a header file? I think we have, right? Yes, we have a header. So let's include it on track. Let's include it on track. And guys, now one more thing. After login, I don't want to go on track page. After login, I don't want to go on track page. I want to go on the diet page. Okay. And guys, again, for the styling, I hope you can style the navigation, right, everyone? Hopefully, you will be able to style the navigation without any issues, guys. Can you please tell me that? Will you be able to style the navigation even if I don't do it? Just want to confirm that once. Why is the header not coming here? Tell me, guys, everyone. Why is the header not coming? Export default function header. What's happening to this? What's happening to this? Header or JSX. Import header from /header. Same on the track page as well. And don't worry, even if it is needed, I'll style it and share it with you guys. I'll style it and share it with you guys. I will do the styling and share it with you guys. But let's make it work first. Styling I can do later on as well. Okay, so now we have this header, home logout. Let's add few more things in the header, guys, quickly. So in the header, we want to add few more things, which is, one is the track page. So let's make this home as track. And one is diet page. Diet page. Okay. So now guys, you have this. And when someone clicks on track, we need to go on track. So we need to make it as a link. Or we can also do on click, but we need to make it as a link. So link to /track. And same will go with the diet. Link to /diet. Okay. Okay, there's some issue. What's that? Okay, link is not imported. Let's import link. Okay, and see guys, now we can go to the track page, which we are all there. We can go to the diet page. See that everyone? And why is this? Okay, now it's perfectly fine. Okay, but why it's calculating the whole thing again when we go back? How come it is 100 and 180? Why it is making it double? Is this some issue? It should not make it double. Track, diet. Why it is making it double? We want to reset it back to 0. That's a simple issue, guys. Why it is making it double? That's a new issue now. So track page we can go. Now see guys, here you can put right a word like search for food or something like that. You can have a good looking message here. And same with diet. If there is nothing, you can have a good message. Let's eat some food like that. And you can make this navigation better. I'm not working on the navigation anymore, but you can make it better. The whole project is almost complete, but you can make the navigation better. But now guys, there's some issue. That is, why is this calculation happening twice here? That's a new issue. Okay. What's happening? What's happening? When the page loads, items are initially nothing, and all of this be like this whole thing should set back to 0. So why it is not happening? Very strange. Track diet. Okay. Something strange going on here. And what is that? Only when the items change, calculate total should happen. So items are also loading for the first time only. So what's happening? And initially item should be a blank array. And this all should set back to 0. Some issue with the calculation, guys. Some issue with the calculation. Okay, we'll see the calculation logic. See, initially it's working only when we go from the navigation, it doesn't work. So first of all, guys, let's add the date logic, everyone. Should we? Let's add the date logic and then we can see the issue. Let's add the date logic at least. So let's add the date logic first. Then after that, we can see what is this simple, silly issue that we have done. So guys, now const, we'll get a property called as date and we'll have a function called as setDate equals, by default, it will contain today's date. So new date. Is that clear, guys? So by default, it will contain today's date. Is that clear, guys? So by default, this date property will contain today's date. Okay. And we have to extract our format there, which is first month, then year, and then, sorry, first month, then the date, and then the year. But first of all, I would like to show you something. How does date work? See, if I do new date, you get this whole thing. But I don't want this format. What I want is I want to extract my date, month, year from it. So new date dot, there's a function called as get month. And see guys, when you do get month, you get 0. 0 means January. Remember that. 0 means January because the months start from 0 in JavaScript. So 0 means January, 1 means February. Like in array indexing. Is that clear, guys? It is like array indexing. Is it clear, everyone? It is like array indexing. Okay. So 0, fine. No issues. All good. So whenever we get 0, we'll do +1. If we get 1, we'll do +2. So if we get 1, we'll do +2, which is February. If we get 2, which is March, so for our purpose, we'll do +1, so 3 will be March. Okay. And then we also have something called as get date, which will give us the current date, today's date. Current month, current date, and we also have something called as get year, which will give us the year. But wait, I want the full year, not this. Okay, so it will give us. So guys, this is what we want. Get month +1, which will give us the current month exactly. get date, and also get full year. So let's create our date, guys. Let's create our date. Let's create our date, everyone. Okay. So for that, guys, we'll do dollar date dot get month, and don't forget the +1. Okay, guys, everyone. And after that, hyphen date dot get date. Correct? Hyphen dollar date dot get full year. So guys, this is also same as your current date. So initially we passed it hard-codedly. We passed it directly. Now we are doing it like this. So get month +1. So if it is 0, it will become 1. If it is 1, it will become 2. So accordingly, hyphen the date, hyphen the year. So exactly same date, but with the functions dynamically, because now it's coming from here, this date. Is it clear, guys, everyone? So we did new date, stored it in an object called as, or a property called as date, and then we are calling it from there. And now first of all, let's see if it is still working. And yep, it is still working perfectly fine. Is that clear, guys? You can see. But now the best part, guys, we'll create a date field now. We'll create a date field. So input type date. Here we go. And if someone selects the previous date, or before than that, or before and that, okay, sir, I'm so feared of, okay guys, let me answer one question. Sir, I'm so feared of this project itself, that this much process going on in a single project. What happen if I go to company? See, Akhilesh, we are building this project in 4 days because we are time bound. In reality, if someone or some company has to build a project like this, they will have bunch of people working together. And you don't have to complete all this like me in 8 to 9 hours. You will have around 10-15 days to completely work on a proper project. So you can think of it slowly. And also it comes with practice. So let's say today you're saying how will I make a big project if there is so much thing to do in this. Don't worry. Just like, think of it like this. When you were in first or second grade of your school, at that time, you had to write 1 or 2 line answers. At that time, we used to think that how will I write 10 line answers or 20 line answers when I go in 10th grade or 12th grade. But when you come to that level, you can easily write it. It's because of your continuous improvement, slow step-by-step process, right? And continuous learning. Same thing happens here. Exactly same thing. Right now, you're building one single feature. Slowly, you'll build 2, 3, 4. And over time, you won't even understand that it happened, that now you can create the whole application. So it's a slow process, Akhilesh. One feature at a time. You can also see me. I'm not thinking of all the features at one time. I'm also thinking of features one at a time. Okay, this is done. This is done. This is done. That's how you do it. One feature at a time. Projects are developed one line of code at a time by complete thinking. Is it cleared? So guys, see, right now I don't have any data for my previous date. So let me quickly go in track and let's add few food items. Now, normally here we don't have an option of going to previous date. But what I'll do is, I'll quickly go here and add I ate 300 grams of chicken curry, track, and I'll change its date in the database directly. You know, again guys, just some fun. Directly changing the date in database. Okay guys, don't worry about that. It's completely fine, okay? So I'll directly change chicken curry's date in the database. So I'll change it to 23, which is initial previous date. Okay guys, update directly. So now when you track, for today's date, you still get 2 data only. What happened to, okay, sorry, diet. So see, you're getting 2 data only. Here, you are getting 2 data only. So now what I want is, if I change my date to 23, I should get 23's data, that date's data. So guys, now what we need to do is final thing. On change, we simply need to do this: set date and whatever is this field's value. So event, okay, first of all mention the event object here, event dot target dot value, and that's it, guys. Let's see if we're able to do it, if this date is working. Okay, it's not working. Why is that? Okay, yeah, we need to tell this fetch that you have to also get called whenever the date changes. So on the date field, based on the date field. Okay, all set. And now let's change the date field. And something is happening. Okay, guys, the problem is when you read a date field, it is not giving you value as a date, it's giving you value as a string. Hope, shayad, maybe. Let's confirm that. Event dot target dot date. Maybe it's giving, sorry, not date, value. Maybe it's giving value as a string, so you need to convert it to a real date. Let's see that quickly. And yes, it's giving you value as a string, guys. See that? It's giving you value as a string. So you need to convert it to date. So new date and pass this whole value inside that. So now it will be converted to a date. And now if you change the date, see, now you're getting proper date. Cleared, guys? And this is what you need to set. So set date. So set date, new date of this date string which we are getting from input field. And now, guys, be ready for the final process. Let's go. Here we go, guys. And see, you got the data of previous day that you had chicken curry. Is that clear, guys? Everyone. But the total logic is still hampering, but we'll solve that. But anyway, guys, see that, everyone. And see, when you don't get any items, I hope you'll be able to display a good message like no data for that date. Hopefully, you'll be able to do that, guys. Hopefully, you'll be able to do that. See that, guys? So now, according to our date, things are changing as well. Is it cleared, everyone? Can you please confirm that? Please tell me, guys, are we cleared with this? Everyone, are we cleared with this? So now, according to date, you are able to change what's happening. Guys, quickly tell me, everyone, are we cleared with this? Okay. So now what we are doing here, just to confirm once again, whenever we perform date change, okay, we read the date field's value and we perform set date, okay. And after that, whenever the date changes, we call the fetch again. And now in the fetch, we have not mentioned any hard-coded date. This date is coming from a variable, okay, and that variable is here. So initially, we have passed current date. In the date variable, initially, we have passed current date. New date means current date. But, so by default, it fetches the data for current date, which is today's date. But whenever you go in the input field and change the date to any date, that date gets passed in the state variable. And whenever that date variable is passed, you call the fetch again for that particular date. And that's how the data is changing. Okay. Now, guys, the only issue that we have, the only and the final issue that we have is this calculation logic. So, guys, we need to solve that as well. And then the whole project will be completed, guys. Again, guys, I'm hoping that you will do all this stuff. Displaying some message here, dummy message. Search for some food item. Let's eat some food today. You can display a message. Let's eat some food today. Here, if, okay, I logged out, guys, by mistake. Let me log in again. So sgupta@gmail.com. Saurabh, it's Saurabh, right? Yeah, it's Saurabh. So here we go. So now, I see that. So now, guys, the only problem that we have with this, and guys, also, if there's no item available, just write a condition. If item.length is 0, display a message. I hope, guys, you'll be able to do it. Everyone, we have done that n number of times, right? So I hope you'll be able to do it. Guys, please tell me, will you be able to display a good message here and there? Please tell me, guys, will you be able to display a message? Because according to what we have learned from so many days, I think you should be able to do that message display part. Right, guys, everyone, can you please confirm that real quick? Okay. Like a simple, right? You're getting these items. See, So you're getting these items. So before performing the map, you can simply write one condition. If items dot length is equal to 0, then display a message. No items found, no item for this date. But again, guys, the final logic is this: why it is getting calculated again and again and again. That is what we need to check. Because whenever I'm going to that page, it is fetching it, but how come this is not resetting? So that's one issue that we have now, guys. I'm saying that whenever items change, only that time perform calculate total. So how come the item is changing again and again? Okay, guys, let's do one thing. Let's reset it. Let's reset this whole thing once before we perform this. Okay, so what we'll do is in calculate total, we'll always reset the total first. Okay, or we can do one more thing. Instead of copying total, the total copy will always reset to this 0, like this. So like this, guys. So anytime calculate total is called, total copy will by default have zeros. It will perform calculation and then it will set to total. So now it doesn't matter. Even if you call calculate total 10,000 times, even if you call calculate total 10,000 times, first it will set to 0. Total copy will always get set to 0 because this line will be called, and then only calculation will happen, and then only set total will be called. So now no issues, hopefully. Yep, see, now refresh, doesn't matter. Go to track, come back, doesn't matter. And go to previous date, all set. So guys, now then, everyone, what say? I know the design is not that good, but again, everyone, your app is completely completed. So guys, everyone, are we all good with this then? And also you can perform a logout. So now the whole app is in its place, everyone. Now the whole app is in its place. What say, everyone? All good? So you have finally completed your nutrition tracker project. I know there are some designing issues. I know that we can change the designing issues and all that stuff. Or we can have one stream where we can just, perform the doubt solving logic, and also we can make some changes in the design. So guys, we are almost done with the project. Now we'll do a final touch up tomorrow. So I'll schedule the stream for tomorrow. And guys, tomorrow's stream will be a little late. Okay. So guys, tomorrow's stream will be a little late. It might be around 9 o'clock. So be ready for that. That will be chill stream plus working on this, everyone. Exactly. Now you can personalize it. Your own design, your own images, give some background image, do whatever you want. You can personalize it completely. So guys, tomorrow what we'll do is, see, tomorrow we'll give the final touch up to this project. We'll make the navigation look good. We'll add some good messages because see, personally, even I don't feel good about my projects if they don't have proper messages. So tomorrow, guys, around 9 o'clock, we'll be having our stream, a little late stream. Okay. No, Drex. Fetch, see, async and await is just a way of handling fetch. Fetch will be always there. Drex, fetch will be always there. So nothing will force you to use async await other than fetch. Because see, async await also works with fetch. Then and catch is the replacement of fetch, Drex. Then and catch. So no, you can completely work with then and catch. You don't need async and await every time. Is that clear, guys? So Drex, don't worry about that. You can completely work without async and await. But again, if you want, tomorrow what I'll do is I'll convert few features to async and await just to show you how will I do it if I convert few features to async and await. So guys, tomorrow's stream will be a little late. So maybe around 9 o'clock. Are you ready then, everyone? Are you guys ready for 9 o'clock stream? Tell me that quickly. Guys, are you guys ready for 9 o'clock stream then tomorrow? It will be around 1 hour stream where we'll just do the designing logic, just make the design look good and just messages, and you can ask me your doubts. Ask me your doubts, we'll do question answering. So guys, ready everyone? All set for a 9 o'clock stream, everyone, for tomorrow. Quickly tell me so that I'll schedule the stream accordingly. Quickly tell me so that I'll schedule the stream accordingly, everyone. Come on. Okay. 9 p.m. stream. It will be chill stream plus cleaning up this project. And guys, I'm planning one more project end to end. No, not morning, evening, not morning. Morning is not possible as of now. So evening, 9 o'clock, evening. That will be, I think, around, what do we call? 2100 hours, right? Right? 2100 hours. Yep. So that time. So we'll be completing this whole thing, guys. Are we cleared, everyone? So be ready. Tomorrow is the last day of this project on YouTube. And also we can, after completing that project, I can, call you guys on Discord and we can have some talk and, that will be chill stream plus completing this project. So I'll be improving the design of this project, which will around take 15-20 minutes, as well as I'll be also solving your doubts, question answers and all that stuff. Okay. And we'll also play some quiz then. So be ready for a late night stream tomorrow where we complete this whole project. Okay. So yep, guys, that's all for today. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your whole time for this 2 hours here when we completed this project. Now tomorrow, guys, it's all finishing touches. That's all. It's all finishing touches. So yes, there is Flutter Drex. There is. I forgot to mention it, but there is. So there will be a video coming up where I'll be mentioning what are all the things I'll be teaching throughout this 2024. So I'm planning for at least 4 to 5 full stack courses. No, you're not German. You're not German to English. Nigel, no, you're not blocked. Send me a request again. I'll accept it. Don't worry. So yeah, guys, that's all for today. Thank you so much. Whole repository will be uploaded in 10 minutes. You can find out the link in the description of the video. So if you want this project, the GitHub link is in the video description. And I'll see all of you tomorrow exactly at 9 o'clock in the evening, where we'll be finishing this project. We'll be playing a really good quiz and we'll be talking. And I can solve all your doubts regarding this project. And guys, don't worry, from now on, chill streams are on. We'll be having a lot of chill streams in the night. Okay, I'm almost done with all the tasks. And guys, I'm also planning for one more end-to-end project next week. So complete end-to-end. No learning, only end-to-end project. No doing any basics. We won't be doing any basics. Using Node.js, using React, a complete end-to-end project. Don't worry, we'll discuss about this tomorrow. Don't worry about that. Okay. So yeah, guys, that's all, everyone. Thank you so much for today. I will see all of you tomorrow. Yes, one more project. Then after that, we can go for the full stack courses again. 1 week, one more project. That's all. Yes. You'll get much more practice. This was an initial project. You'll get a little more practice. So if we do one more project, you'll get more practice. And I want you guys to make that project with me. So every day we'll only do some little parts of that project. And I want you guys to do the project with me. Okay. Is that cleared, guys? Everyone, are we all cleared? Yes, Hanuman, Jai Shri Ram, buddy. Jai Shri Ram. So guys, are we all cleared, everyone? Okay. I'll see all of you tomorrow exactly at 9 p.m. in the evening, guys. Bye-bye, everyone. Good night. See you tomorrow. And guys, please, if you're new, do subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you tomorrow exactly at 9 p.m. Okay. Bye-bye, guys. Good night, everyone. Good night. See you all tomorrow. Good night.